Welcome to homework.
All right, we need to provide the correct IUPAC name for the following molecule. And we have a wedge to a methyl here and a dash to a methyl here. All right, so we know that this is going to be dimethyl cyclohexane, right? That's the root name. We have cyclohexane and we have two methyls. And if we had to number them, no matter which way we go, if we provide the lowest numbering possible, we'll end up with a 1-3 system, right? If we count the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have higher numbers overall. Throw that out. We want 1-3. So without stereochemistry, we know that this is 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane. Right? 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane. Well, what about stereochemistry? Okay, well, we simply need to decide whether the first position is R or S. Simple enough. So if we look to this carbon right here, let's see what's attached and rank them. Well, we know in the back there is a hydrogen. Let's put a hydrogen back there. And let's start to rank our substituents. So we've got carbon, carbon, carbon. Well, sorry, we know that hydrogen is the lowest priority. I'll put a 4 back there. Carbon, carbon, carbon. This carbon is attached to 2 hydrogens. This carbon is attached to 2 hydrogens. And this carbon is attached to 3 hydrogens. That tells me that this particular carbon is the lowest priority, right? Because it's attached to 3 hydrogens, whereas these 2 each have multiple carbons attached. We can so far these are both tied. They're both carbon, hydrogen, hydrogen. So we continue on down the line to this and this. We compare these two. This one's attached to 2 hydrogens and a carbon. This one's attached to a carbon and a hydrogen. So, we've got a winner, right? This lower path wins, meaning this substituent is the highest priority. And this is the second highest. Okay, well, our lowest priority substituent is in the back, so we can simply determine whether connecting 1 to 2 to 3 is clockwise or counterclockwise, and it is clockwise. If our lowest priority substituent is in the back, then clockwise corresponds to R. So we know our 1 position is R. Let's look at our other methyl group here. Now, one thing I can guarantee you is that this is going to be R as well. The reason for that is that if it were S, we would have a meso compound, and we wouldn't have R or S, and it would simply be, it's maybe a little advanced. I'm just skipping ahead, but the idea is that if you have a symmetric molecule like this one that would be symmetric if it weren't for the stereochemistry, you can guarantee that it's going to be RR or SS if it's not meso. Okay. Nevertheless, we can still do it the old-fashioned way, which is probably what you should rely on. We know that we have a hydrogen in front now, right? And again, hydrogen is going to be our lowest priority substituent. Let's call that 4. And let's start determining the priority of our substituents. We know, once again, methyl is going to be the second lowest because it's got 3 hydrogens attached versus carbon and 2 hydrogens versus carbon and 2 hydrogens. Now we compare these two. Each is a carbon with 2 hydrogens, so they're tied. These two are tied. We go one further and compare this one and this one. And just like last time, the one with the methyl group is going to be the higher priority, which means this path is higher priority than this path, which means that this is the second highest priority, and this is the first highest priority, and this is the second. And what we do is we say, well, our lowest priority substituent is not in the back, okay? And that means that if we connect 1 to 2 to 3 and get counterclockwise, if our lowest priority substituent is not in the back, counterclockwise corresponds to R. If it is in the back, like our other example, counterclockwise is S. But in this case, it's not in the back, which means counterclockwise corresponds to R. Right? So what that tells us is that we have R, 1, 3, di, dimethylcyclohexane. The other way that you could specify this would be 1R, 3R, dimethyl cyclohexane, or 1R, 3R, 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane.